So Mystical Mail is going to chunk. Tier only has physical protections, so that's going to help him with just some of the damage, but not this magical damage. The longer we fight, the more favorable the fight's going to be for us. Tier does not have any mana. We use our 1, that's going to apply 20% slow. We're going to stick to him. We do have our ultimate. We're going to hit him with a 2. He's very weak. We're going to go in and we're going to ult him, and we're able to get the pick onto the tier. What a do, skibbity boo, it's your boy Shawnee B Gaming, and today we have a viewer request to play Osiris in solo. If you are new to the channel, I upload every single day. I add some commentary to a game that I've already played with the intention of seeing what went right and what went wrong, and hopefully there's something that we can learn together. If you are a returning viewer, they just recently buffed Osiris's ultimate. They allowed him to jump an extra 10 units, which does not seem to make too much of a difference. So let's go ahead and jump into his kit. Osiris's 1 is Sickle Strike. Osiris is going to throw his sickle in a line attack, and it's going to stop at the first enemy hit. If it hits an enemy god, it's going to slow them for 20% for 3 seconds, and the sickle is going to remain for the duration of the slow. Osiris's 2 is Spirit Flail. Osiris is going to cast a circle ability, and if it hits an enemy god, Osiris is going to gain 20% movement speed for 3 seconds. If the enemy is under the effects of Sickle Strike, the target's slow is going to be increased for 40 seconds, and it's going to add 3 seconds to the duration. Osiris's 3, Judgment Tether. Osiris is going to fling out some mummy wraps. Targets hit are going to deal reduced damage for the next 4 seconds. The tether can be broken. The target moves far away enough from Osiris, and then targets still in range when the duration expires are going to be stunned for 1.4 seconds. The damage reduction is 15% at level 1 and 35% at level 5. Lord of the Aftermath. Osiris is going to shed any remaining fragments, gaining the benefit of his passive, and he's going to leap forward. Osiris targets all enemy gods in the landing area and rips a fragment of their spirits out, dealing damage and preventing them from healing. So it's a 100% anti-heal. Targets are rooted for 0.4 seconds during the attack. Enemy minions in the target area are also going to take damage. Osiris's passive, Fragmented. Each time Osiris uses an ability, he's going to burn away a fragment of his body, gaining damage mitigation for each fragment. After losing 8 fragments, he's going to enter his spirit form. He may walk through enemies and enemy walls, such as an Odin ring or a Ymir wall, and his basic attacks do not incur any movement speed penalty. So he has a hasten effect whenever he uses his passive. This effect can last for 6 successful basic attacks. So the faster your attack speed, the faster you will exit your passive state. The physical damage mitigation is 2% per missing fragment, and the magical damage mitigation is 1% per missing fragment. So if you notice at the beginning of the game, I was using my 2 while in Fountain to start getting some of my passive stacks going. I think I got it to either 4 or 5 before heading to lane. And what this does is whenever I use an ability on blue buff, that's going to put me at 6, and then whenever I am fighting tier for that first wave, I potentially am going to have up to 12% damage mitigation, so it's really going to help out. The basic combo with Osiris is you land your 1 on an enemy, you hit him with the 2, and then you kind of just chase him down with basic attacks. Osiris does have an attack chain, and his final hit is a cleave, meaning that you can hit multiple minions or multiple enemies with it. We're just going to keep fighting here. We have him tethered. This is actually a very good fight for us because our minions might win. We might have some minions here. Oh, he dashes back in. He's absolute. We miss our 2. Let's see if we can get it here. He's hanging out a little too long. We hit our 2. We have our tether. Get him with a basic or 2, and we're able to get the pick onto tier. Since we got first blood, that is also going to be an additional 500 gold in our pocket. We're going to go ahead and work on this blue buff with our Thor. So in terms of the leveling order, you're going to want to put a point into your 2, put a point into your 1, point into your 3, point into your 2, max out your ultimate whenever you can, max out your 2, max out your 1, and then max out your 3. So even though we did get a pick there, he had Wave Pusher. we just hit level 5, so now we have our ultimate, and we also have enough money for boots, so we're going to go ahead and back. We are going to be picking up Warrior Tabi. So Osiris does have an attack chain, the final hit being a cleave, but you do not want to build attack speed on Osiris. The reason being, the faster you attack, the faster you're going to exit your passive state. It takes 6 basic attacks to exit your passive state, and you kind of want to hang out in your passive state as much as possible. Osiris also has relatively short cooldowns on his 1 and 2. So you want to constantly be spamming your 1 towards the enemy god, and then try to follow that up with a 2, see if you can connect it on them and some minions. We're going to use our 3, he's tethered, he has wave advantage. We're kind of fighting into this, but we want to be careful because he does have wave advantage. So right now, we are in our passive state, we are 8 of 8, and we have 3 little red bars left on the passive. 3 little red bars, 2 little, 1. And on our next basic attack, we're going to lose all of our unfragmented body parts. Getting some good poke onto this tier. We ult, he ults. we just mistimed that a little bit. We probably could have gotten a pick on him. Oh no! No! He was one shot. We played that a little incorrectly there. If we would have held onto our ult or used it earlier, we definitely would have gotten the pick onto him. So pretty standard start for solo lane. We're going to be going Warrior's Blessing, then we're going to be going Teleport as our relic. We're also going to be starting with a Health Chalice and the tier 1 of Boots. The tier 1 of Boots is not the most effective start for solo lane, but it allows me to get my power spike from Boots pretty early on. So that's why we are going tier 1 Boots, even though we're probably going to lose the early game. So I think tier 1 Warrior's Blessing and then tier 1 of Void Shield, so he had some physical protections, and before I back and get my Boots, he actually had Crusher. He should be able to outtrade me because he has some physical defenses and I just have the Warrior's Blessing. But now that I've got my power boots, I'm a little bit faster than him and I have more power than him. We're both level 7, so pretty even in the lane. He uses his dash, we're going to use our tether. Hit him with the 1. Hit him with the 2 to increase the slow. We get the stun from our tether. We're just sticking to him. Kind of using our last hit and our basic attack to hit tier and the minions. We're going to use our ultimate. That's going to make a ghost form of him. He goes right back up. Very adventurous by him. He should have ulted out of there, but instead he tried to get the damage. So we just returned to lane. We're a little weak in terms of health. We just popped a mana or a health potion from our health chalice. Here comes our Erlang Shen. We're going to use our 3. Trying to make sure he stays in the tether. He gets stunned. We're going to use our 2 on him. And I think we're able to peel out. Our tether bought us the perfect amount of time for us to peel out. Thor is kind of here, rotating in. We're going to use our 1, use our 3, kind of bait. Thor comes in, lands on the Erlang, and we're able to get the pick onto the Erlang. So right there, as a solo laner, not necessarily as an Osiris, we see that the enemy jungler is nearby, and we see that our jungler is rotating in. We look pretty weak, so we're kind of appealing for the enemy jungler. We're going to kind of fight him, get him to stay around and focus onto us. Then Thor is able to ult in and make a difference. Right here, Thor is dropping our blue. We're going to use our ability on the minion wave. By standing right there, we get the XP from the blue, and we also get the XP from the minion wave. We're going to try to group up the minions. We don't want to give Tyr any free poke. He uses his ultimate on us. He's able to get a poke on us. He just burned his ult, so we should be good for a little bit. We are going to go ahead and back, and we're going to be picking up Mystical Mail. Mystical Mail is going to provide us 200 health, 40 physical protections, and 20% crowd control reduction. It has a passive that enemies within 25 units are dealt 40 magical damage per second. So we saw that Tyr was going into the tier 1 of the Void Shield, or one of the items on the Void Shield tree. That means he does not have any magical protection, and he will not have any magical protection until his 4th item. So Mystical Mail is going to chunk. Tyr only has physical protections, so that's going to help him with just some of the damage, but not this magical damage. The longer we fight, the more favorable the fight's going to be for us. Tyr does not have any mana. We use our 1, that's going to apply 20% slow. We're going to stick to him. We do have our ultimate. We're going to hit him with a 2. He's very weak. We're going to go in and we're going to ult him, and we're able to get the pick onto the Tyr. We're going to go ahead and start working. Erlong's here. We're going to have to use our 3, use our 2, kind of wiggle around a little bit. Minions, I thought were going to take the tower shots for me, but somehow I get shot there. I guess I did damage to Erlong. Oh, Mystical Mail, duh. If Erlong's near me, he's taking damage. So of course he did damage to Erlong. That is one thing to note. If you are running into towers, chances are you're going to be getting the tower aggro. Oh no, Erlong's still here. We're going to pop our 3. We're going to kind of wiggle around a little bit. Thor's able to ult in. We're going to turn now that Thor's here. We hit Tyr with our sickle slice, or sickle. Trying to stick to this Tyr. The longer we're in this fight, the more favorable it is for us because we have Mystical Mail. Oof. Thor almost got him. We're going to fall back to our blue buff. Always try to prioritize blue buff over Totem of Kill. We're pretty low on health. Erlong is still hanging about. We will gladly bait. I don't know what he was doing, but Thor is able to clean up the Erlong. So now we have 2 levels on the enemy Tyr, and I think we're pretty much set in this lane. Right here, my positioning is not fantastic because Mystical Mail was only hitting the front minions. If I'm attacking the front minions or the melee minions from their backs, I'm also getting Mystical Mail procs onto the archers. We're going to go peek the enemy blue buff. Tyr is here. We hit him with our 1. We're going to activate our 3. He pushes us. We're able to get the stun. We're going to hit him with our 1 again. Hit him with our 2. Increase that slow. He uses his ultimate. We're going to go ahead and disengage. We don't really have the most amount of health anyway. We're able to hit him with a 1 again. That's going to be a 20% slow. Hit him with our 2, but the sickle disappeared, so we did not increase it to the 40%. We activate our tether. We got to avoid getting pushed into tower here. And with a 1, pushes us into tower. We're going to have to ult out. Erlong rotates. This is a very rough fight for us. We're wiggling. We're wiggling around. Luckily, we are in our full passive, so we're taking 12%. No, we are taking 16% less damage. Thor is able to ult and clean up the Tyr in solo. After going into Mystical Mail, you're going to be going into Frostbound Hammer. Frostbound Hammer is going to provide us 25 physical power and 300 health. It has a passive that whenever we land basic attacks on an enemy, they're going to be slowed by 30% for 1.25 seconds. So with this build, it's really effective if you're able to establish an early lead and have a jungler who can help facilitate that early lead. If you're from behind, or if they have some magical defenses, this build is going to kind of feel a little weak. But Tyr does not have either of those things, and man does it feel strong. We have Mystical Mail that's giving us physical protections and also dealing damage. We have Frostbound that's going to allow us to slow them ridiculously and keep them within our Mystical Mail aura. And then we also have our 3 for the stun, and we have slows. We are just a problem. We're going to stick to this Tyr. Hit him with the line attack, hit him with the 2, increase that slow to 40%. Then we're going to rotate and clean up this Totem of Kill. For our second relic, we went with Thorns. Looks like Tyr's going for his blue buff. He's able to secure it right as we turn the corner. Frostbound is preventing him from moving too fast. He's probably going to have to use an ability to get out of here. Yep. So we took him below half health right there, and that cost us almost nothing. No free backs here, good sir. Hit him with the line attack, 20% slow.
Even as your allies fail you,
he's going to dash away because we're going to be able to get this tower. We're just going to fall back, hit the totem of kill. Now we're going to clean up the minion wave. Hercules and Erlong are in mid. We're going to see if we can rotate and potentially help this Thor out. It's looking like a good fight. It's just Hercules. We're going to use our tether. Hercules dashes out of it immediately. We're going to fall back. Tyr's now here. That's now a 2v2. So we're going to start falling back. Now to the 3v2 because Erlong's rotating in. We get rooted by his Till. We're just falling back. We need to get to our side of the map. It looks like Hera is also rotating in. We get Erlong ulted. We're going to activate our 3. We have a tether on 3. We use our ultimate to avoid Hera. We get rooted. We get knocked back by Hercules. We are taking a lot of damage. Luckily, we are in our passive, so we are taking 16% less physical damage. We're going to fall back to our tier 2 tower. Nox rotates in. Ymir is also rotating in. They just dumped everything on us, and we were able to peel out. Thank you, Osiris passive. You are quite nutty. After going into Frostbound Hammer, we're going to be going into Genji's guard, or we're going to be going into Oni guard. I forget which. Oni guard is really good on Osiris because it provides damage mitigation whenever more enemies are near you. Osiris already has a decent amount of damage mitigation. Usually if you stack damage mitigation on Osiris, it turns out pretty well. Also, this skin looks very cool whenever he's in his passive state. He's just glowing red. We're going to go ahead and fall back to our blue buff. Since we have the tier 1 tower down, we could clear a wave, potentially clear a second wave, and then start rotating to mid. 2 more basics and we're going to lose our passive state. Tyr is here. We're going to go ahead and get a little bit of pressure on him. He's a little far from his tower. We're just going to activate our 3. Start trying to hit him with some basics. Hit him with our 1, hit him with our 2. He pushes us, but that's not a problem. So with Osiris, if you are not sure if you're going to land your 1-2 combo, you can always use your 3, wait for the stun, and then hit your 1. The 1 will slow them by 20%, and then hopefully you can use your 2 on the slowed target without having too much setup. We saw Hera over here. We're going to go ahead and rotate. We're kind of chasing because we think Hera is going to show up on our team fight. We're going to activate our 3. We're still tethered even though we were polymorph. We're going to stick to this Hera over the Hercules. Frostbound is a problem. We're going to activate our 1. Very late ultimate by us. We're able to clean up the Hercules and the Hera, so now we're going to just clean up the Gold Fury. And the enemy team surrenders. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you feel like you learned anything at all, check out the channel and subscribe for more content. These stats for this game will be posted in just a moment. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.